Okay, we're gonna roll this all in with the other part of the video for the 2511T. Mufflerized. Yeah. So today I have ground this out. I did this one on the, you saw this one get done on the other video, but I ground this one out for the slack adjuster peg. Right now, if you can see in there, see that little bit of light right there, right at the end of my fingernail, right there, see that? See how that disappears? Okay, I got that one ground a little bit far, but that's what we're going to do, is we're going to grind down, we're going to grind into the rail, down into, so it meets up with this hole, because that's where it oils. It doesn't oil in the normal oil hole like a Husqvarna or a Still, okay? It oils through these holes right here, like an old McCulloch and Home Lights and other Echoes oil through that hole, okay? At the top peg slack adjuster hole, okay? So that's what we're going to do. We're going to grind that. So I want to talk about that for a minute. Make sure, if you do this, make sure that your grinding wheel is the right width for the gauge of your bar. So if you have a 50 gauge bar, you need this to be 50 thousandths thick. If you have 63 gauge, you need it to be 63 thousandths thick. Okay? Remember that. Using a 63 thousandths thick grinding wheel in a 50 thousandths bar is not good. That's not good. Try to match it to the width of the rail of your bar. Taz Tech tip right there. Okay, we're gonna go out. We're gonna go outside and we're gonna grind this. Okay, I'm gonna show you exactly how I do it. I've done it on previous videos, but I'm gonna do it again with this one. Okay, it's gonna be loud. I'll try to tone it down some. Anyway, I'm gonna grind this top one first. So that grinding wheel is gonna go down in the rail, and it's gonna start to come out the top of this hole. You should see the wheel in that hole, and sparks start to show up in there. Okay. Just like that. Okay, that gives you an idea of what's going to happen there, right? See the sparks start to show up there? And you can see the wheel inside there. Watch. See, the hole looks different now. When I put that back in there, it's coming down in there nicely. It's probably about all we need, but I'm going to go a little bit more. Just right there, and that's how you do that. And then you make sure, see the burr in there now? Just make sure that that's all cleaned out with a pick or something like that. Now let's do this one. For some reason, sorry about that glare. There we go. Now that one, see, we'll do that one. That one's already through a little bit, right? Oh yeah, that one's plenty. Big plenty. Okay, that's how you do that. Okay, and also you can these holes, you don't need a Dremel tool to do these. All you need is a chainsaw file. Just get one of your old chainsaw files and file it down so everything lines up. Because see, it's got to line up. It's got to line up with that. See that? And when it was in its regular, that's what it looked like. Okay? Before I ground it out. Now that peg, see where that peg's at? With it normal? And see, your bar studs won't come through there, right? Because it's not lined up. So I ground that out, and now they line up. It lines up with the bar stud. Okay? Yeah. Okay. This is what I'm talking about where the oil comes from. And that it doesn't line up with the regular oil hole that's right up here on the other side of the bar, right? See that slot in there? That's the oil delivery slot. So it has to come into this hole, and then your bar plate covers this, makes it solid, so it will pool up here, and then it goes up into the bar in the holes that I just created with the grinder. Okay? So make sure that all that lines up, and then make sure that your other one is big enough, because this is where, let's take this off there. The slack adjuster peg has to go into this hole right here. This is what keeps it from flopping around, right? This slot right here. So make sure that the holes on your bar, when you file them out or grind them out, Dremel them, see that? That's that slot I just showed you. So the peg has to go through this hole, this big hole that you made, and it has to fit into that. So you have to go far enough. This one went a little bit too far, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. It's still going to get oil if I flip the bar over, and it's still going to work either way. And it's not damaged to where it won't work on a Husqvarna. It will still work on a Husqvarna. Okay? So you just made this universal, is all you've done if you do this. If you have a Husqvarna bar, this is the same. This is the same. This works. You don't have to do anything with this, with the bar stud slot. You don't have to do anything with that to go from Husqvarna to this Echo. Okay? Now I'm talking top handle. Top handle bar stud size, not 372 or 61 or not the bigger Husqvarna one, but the little one, top handle size. Okay? Make a note of that. I'm going to bar this up, and then we're going to make some cuts. All right, here we go. Echo 2511T, ported by Muffler Delete 101 with a 14-inch bar, 3/8 Slow Pro chisel chain, chisel tooth. I call it chisel tooth. Okay, it's chisel tooth. The other semi-chisel, we used to call it chipper tooth. Chipper tooth, chisel tooth, but it's semi-chisel. But this is chisel. This is full chisel chain. See that? Square edge. Round filed. Stock. Steel chain. Okay? Let's try it. I'm going to cut some on this smaller stuff, and then I'm going to cut this big piece, because I will cut wood that big on a chunk out, right? I'll cut even bigger wood than this if I'm chunking out, coming down the tree, right? So let's try it out. And things I'm testing now, the only tuning I've done was on the low jet. I gave it a little bit more fuel on the low jet because it wasn't picking up from idle to going to, throttling it. It needed more fuel. So I turned the low jet counterclockwise, which is out. Gives it more fuel. Okay, so I haven't tuned it in the high yet. I haven't tuned it in the wood. This is the first cuts right here, folks. You're seeing it right here.
So we're going to go through it, and I'm going to shut it off, let it sit for a little bit, not like 5 minutes or nothing like that, and then I'm going to restart, because a saw that you're going to take up in a tree, number one to me is reliability. It's got to start, it's got to stay running, right? And then you worry about the rest of it, okay? So those are the things that I'm going to test here. I know this is going to be a longer video, but I want it all together. I don't want to break any of this up. I want all this footage of the start of this 2511T ported by Muffler. I want it all right out. I want it all right out there, okay? Muffler's doing a great thing. Muffler's working for Gap Arborist store, so go check them out if you're into arborist stuff, and maybe you end up with a 2511T ported by Muffler Delete 101. Let's do it. It's all warmed up. I've warmed it up. I haven't cut with it. I don't have any sawdust on me, right? So here we go. That will take some getting used to. Okay, so this will be, I'll use this time to talk a little bit about what I feel in that saw right there. This saw is so little and so light, and the throttle response on it is way different. It's so much more responsive to the trigger than my T435. Couple reasons. It's only 25 cc's, but it's ported. Okay, and also because it's light. So when you wick it, you see it go. I'm not doing that on purpose. I'm not like, oh yeah, check it out. No, my hand is fairly relaxed pulling the trigger, and it jumps like that. So when I switch to my left hand, which is not my dominant hand, my right hand is my dominant hand, it's even more pronounced, right? Because of that response up in a tree, it's something to get used to. So hanging on to it with two hands, of course, is ideal. But there are times that you need to reach. So easing into the throttle instead of just wicking it and making it jump like that, you know, easing into it could be something that needs to be worked into my tree climbing experience. Okay, here we go. Restart. I just imagine that I'm up in a tree and I just reposition myself and I'm ready to fire up. Okay, I got it on. Perfect. See how it jumps like that? Okay, and I forgot to tell you, I found the bolts to put the Egan dog on it. They come with it. The bolts come with the Egan dog. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that, buddy. Okay, now I'm going to cut a bigger piece, okay? I'm going to cut a piece of this. Okay? Here we go. It's pretty impressive. Super impressive. Look at that little guy. Yeah, that's going to take some getting used to in the tree, for sure. I'm thinking, yeah. pretty crazy. Muffler, that thing runs amazing. You see me tweaking on it, giving a little bit more fuel and more fuel, more fuel. Little by little, testing it, see how, and then we'll just do this and we'll see if it restarts, right? But that is impressive. 25 cc's. Nice work, Muffler. That chain stretched a little bit. You can tell. It stretched. But the oiler's working good. The modification that we made to that bar, it accepted it just fine. Yeah, we're there. So yeah, it's primo. Restart is good. See how I started it and then I just wicked it? I'm testing that for the pickup throttle response, right? There's no hesitation. It's right now, right? And that's what a tree guy does. When a tree guy is up in a tree and he starts to saw, he's ready to cut. He's already positioned himself in the tree for the next cut. So I go up the tree. I'm messing. I just got done cutting. Shoop, I hang it on my belt. I go mess around. I get up to my next row of limbs or whatever else of my next cutting sequence, right? So then I grab my saw. Ready to cut. You want that instant response. Muffler, this is going to be awesome for my tree climbing. Like I said, I don't do a whole lot of tree climbing, but when I do, I want reliability. And this thing, it's got it. It's got it all. It's got plenty of power to cut wood like this size, and even this size. Chunking out. Heck yeah, I'm never in a hurry when I'm in a tree, ever. Okay, one more thing I gotta check. Chain brake, right? Primo. Absolutely primo. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it a ton. And thank you, Muffler Delete 101, for the opportunity to purchase this from you, buddy. I appreciate it. I love y'all. Take care and be safe. TazMan is rolling. Stay tuned.